I'd had enough. It was time to end it.
75% of Brits feel that crime rates are on the rise, and the headlines aren't telling us any different. A man stabbed while chasing muggers, a boy shot while riding his bike, a teenager killed while visiting a bakery. Even our own politicians are scared in their own constituencies. Jackie Smith won't walk in hers after dark, and Harriet Harmond has insisted on wearing a stab vest. Crime appears to be affecting us all.
Everybody in this country now has some kind of personal experience of crime.
People are getting sick of the same things hitting the headlines. Yob attacks an older, respectable citizen.
One of them picked up a bottle off the street and threw it at his head. What's society coming to, to do stuff like that?
A patrolling police constable will come in front of a burglary in progression on average once every 7 years.
When you talk to the police, it seems to me their hands are tied. Well, why don't they untie their hands?
The law's an ass. It seems that it's all weighted in relation to the offender and not to the victims.
But reported crime rates have actually decreased over the last 10 years, so why are we so scared? In the next half hour, we're meeting the Brits who are turning their backs on the criminal justice system and taking the law into their own hands, with shocking results. From everyday local heroes squaring up to neighbourhood jobs, massive growth in private security firms paid to police Britain's roughest estates, to hardline, machete-wielding mobs that act first and ask questions later. This is Vigilante Britain. David Wilson is a leading criminologist and an expert on vigilantes.
I've interviewed vigilantes of both genders, men and women. I've interviewed vigilantes who are young, who are old. I've interviewed vigilantes who've taken the law into their own hands, who are middle class and wealthy, and who are poor. But by and large, if I was to try and think of an overall type of person who would take vigilante action, it would be those people who feel abandoned by the formal agents of law and order.
Almost irrespective of where you live, whether you live in one of the big cities or whether you live in the country, if you haven't experienced some kind of crime or antisocial behaviour yourself, you'll have a direct member of your family who has. Everybody has a story.
No one epitomises this more than Jason Smith. He'd been harassed for over 2 years by local yobs. He made over 60 complaints to the police, which went unanswered. So one day Jason, who holds a black belt in jiu-jitsu and karate, decided to fight back.
I mean, he's trying to get me to hit him. He's grabbed me there, behind my head. I'm well within my rights there now to hit him. He's pushed me again. I was worried he'd threatened my wife and daughter, so I'd had enough. It was time to end it. I was protecting my family. I mean, as a father and a husband, that's my job.
I am proud of him at the end of the day because he kept me and my daughter from harm.
Jason's single punch has made him a YouTube hero, with more than 400,000 views and thousands of responses celebrating his hands-on approach. But not all stories end up like this. In 2007, Britain was shocked after Fiona Pilkington killed herself and her daughter after years of bullying by local yobs. Police error and inaction left the single mother feeling terrified and alone.
There's a growing feeling that the police there aren't enough cops to deal with all the things that are going on. And the perception is, if you talk to people, on the bus or in the bar, almost everyone has, I'm sad to say, a fairly negative view about the effectiveness of the police in this country.
This is the case in Michael Caine's recent film, in which he plays the title character Harry Brown, a pensioner turned